Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. So today is about celebration, all about celebration, and I'll explain that in just a few minutes. But what I'm going to be creating, I'm just going to be happy and play, and that's so good for our souls. So today I want to talk about, because I'm trying to incorporate a couple of techniques throughout the month in my Sunday inspirations. And today I want to talk about sealing and finishing my work. And because I get this, I go through my questions, and this is a question that I get all the time. And so when I'm done answering all those questions, I'll go on to other things like different types of products and stuff like that. But today I want to talk about sealing and finishing my work, especially when it comes to water-soluble products, because I use soft pastels and charcoal, and I get asked, like, what do I do now? And in my journals, I don't really worry about sealing my pages. I keep my deli paper or parchment paper in between my pages, and that is enough for me. So, but I'll talk. You can seal your pages, but it's really up to you. So let's talk really quickly. Let me just grab my journal. So this is just a piece of deli paper, and this one doesn't have that was last week's. Of course, this has got a lot of charcoal on it. I'm just trying to see. This has a lot of soft pastel on it, and you can see it from my fingers. And I'm not worried about it with my journal. I'm just not. You can see the smearing of the charcoal and that kind of stuff. It's completely okay with me. If that's not okay with you, then you can definitely seal it. And a couple of ways that you can do that is, so you can take it outside and spray a workable fixative, and that sets it enough that it just won't smear at all. I don't use a lot of workable fixative unless I'm in the middle of a project and I want to set something so that I can go over it and not disturb it. I will use a workable fixative, and that keeps it set enough until I'm done doing my thing. Most of the time nowadays, and it's changed over time, and that's why it's important for me to kind of do these and update, is I'm using a matte varnish. This is Liquitex Professional Matte Varnish. And this is what I seal all of my work with exclusively now. And because it's, I got to spray this, I'm going to just spray this. It's a matte finish. That way I can continue to make marks or whatever. It's going to go along with the matte finish that's already on my work. So let's just say that you want to seal this, or let's just say this is a piece of art. Once I'm done, I would take my matte varnish and take it outside. I don't always take it outside. That's terrible, but I'm in a well-ventilated area in my studio. I have a window right here. But take it outside, and if I'm sealing something, I'll take it outside because I'm going to do a lot of coats. If it's my journal page, I'm just going to give it one spritz, and it'll set it enough that it's good to go. You have to decide what you're looking for. But you want to spray 12 to 16 inches above your work, somewhere up here, because you don't want to spray down close like this, because the wetness of this will disperse your water-soluble products, and you'll get it all runny, and it won't look the same, and then I cry. I don't really, but so you want to just spritz it a couple of times. Don't do a continuous spray. So I'll spritz. And I'll just let it sit for a while. I don't want to do any more, but I'll let it sit for a while. And I kind of take a look. I get my head to the side and move it around and see you know, if there's any areas, because you'll be able to see where it's at. And then I do it again. And then I do it 3 or 4 times, depending on, like for my journal page, I wouldn't do that. I would just spritz it once. I would get just the edges, you know, up here, not this close, but up here. And in fact, let me just do this real close so you can kind of see what happens to, let's see, let's do it up here, because there's a lot up there. So if I get too close, whoops, if I get too close, it's going to start to run. And it changes how the soft pastel looks. And I think you can see that. See how thick that is? That's no bueno on that. That's just, yeah, and it's starting to run. And then you can't tap it back up, because if you do that, then you pick up what's there. You start picking up the soft pastel. See, I'm getting all my stuff on my towel. So you want to spray it up far away, like 12 to 16 inches, somewhere in there, but not close, and just spritz it. And then you'll be good to go. And for my pieces of art, I do many coats of this. And then if you want a brushed on varnish look, then you can do that. I have stopped doing that because I like the look of the matte, because the matte works for my art, because my art's typically grungy or something like that. So I'm really solely on matte varnish. It's archival, it's non-removable, it's permanent, it seals, it does all the things. And it works really well for my, how I create, because I'm always using soft pastels. So now, a lot of people don't want to use a spray, and I get that, because of hazards or environment and that kind of thing. What you can do is you can take your, let's see, where is my, okay, matte medium. And I'm just going to put it out here on my palette next to me. And I have a roller. And this is not a sponge roller. This is like a regular, like paint roller material. It gives me a better finish than a sponge roller, because a sponge roller can kind of leave a little bit of a kind of a mark. But either way, I think both will work. I just prefer this type of roller, and I'm gonna need a whole heck of a lot more than that. What did I just do with it? That first, because this was wet, my roller, was wet. My roller was dry. It's going to soak up all that matte medium. So I should have spritzed this with water first to give it a little bit of moisture in it. That way I'm not soaking up a ton of matte medium. But either way, it works. So I'm going to get my matte medium on here. And this is not as foolproof as the spray. It just isn't, because we're rolling over, you know, water-soluble material. So I've got my stuff on my medium on my roller. I'm going to do one swipe. I think you can see how the shininess there. Now I'm going to have to wipe off here on my towel. Let me do it over here, because I have picked up some of the soft pastel. And then I will reload, and I will do that over and over. I don't want to go back and forth. I want to go in one direction, wipe off my roller, and do it again. So I'm going to go in one direction. See all that? You can see yeah. I'm going to load back up, go back over, and you may get some residual, like I've got some soft pastel kind of being transferred up here. That's what I mean by this not being 100% foolproof. And so I'm going to come back over here. And I've got a lot of soft pastel that I'm picking up right there. And that's it. I'm going to let it be, and then I can come back, or I can dry it and come back and, you know, see if I need to do more, because you'll be able to see certain areas. Now, the other thing about this method is it leaves some texture. That may be fine, may not matter to you at all. So that's why I like the spray. And until this is dry, I can't go back over it and smooth it out, because I'm going to drag that soft pastel over the rest of my piece. I can wipe this off and maybe bring that over like that. See, I'm bringing some more of it with me. So I need to just let it be, because it's real textural right now because it's a roller. And I'm like spitting stuff out of my roller. So that's an option for you, especially for your journal pages, because, you know, they're not a piece of art or something like that. But this is exactly how I would do it for a piece of art. If I didn't want to spray, I would do it the same way. Or if I didn't mind spraying, I would spray the same way for a regular piece of art. So that is how I seal my work. Now let me grab. So here I've got this one's not finished yet. Let me just set this aside. And what I would do to finish the piece, I paint my sides black. Now I use matte black paint. I buy it at Home Depot. It's flat black paint. And I have it in a tub like this. And I have my same little roller. And I paint my sides just like this. See that? It will come up over the edge, but I don't care. You know why? Because I put soft pastel on my edges. So this little bit of black that's coming up over, I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, on the back, I typically don't for my art. My assistant does. She paints the back part black for me. And then here I sign it. Let me just set that down like that. I have a permanent marker that I use. And not white, but black. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's black, depending on what I'm creating on. So I will sign it. This one's dead. And I will put the year, and that it's an original, and then the title. So, and then with a different permanent marker, small fine point, I sign it. Down here in the right hand corner, unless it's too dark, then I'll switch it to someplace else. So that is how I finish and seal my work. And I hope that helps answer questions, because I get this question asked all the time. Okay, so that is my helpful tip and technique for this Sunday inspiration. Now let's talk a little bit about what the party is, what we're going to be doing. So I have out a 12 by 12 wood panel, and this is going to be just play. It's going to be bright, fun, happy, and a celebration. I have out here, this is the Topsy-Turvy masks, and oh, I got a little black in there. It's the 5 by 8, the 8 by 10, and the 9 by 12. And I am going to do a little tiny bit of gel printing. I have my gel plate out here. I'm going to do that and get some pattern. I may use that, or I may use them just like this and stamp with them. I'm not sure. And then I also have the carvings straight that I want to do a gel print of, or two. You know how that goes with gel printing. It's never just one. But I want to do a couple of those with this and see how these collage papers can work their way into this project. And this is going to be really abstract, but I want it to be playful and fun and bright and happy, because I think we all need a little happy. I even brought out bubble wrap because that is the sign of happy. It makes me happy. I also have out here some crayons, and this will be these are water soluble. So this is, I would spray these with my sealer or with my matte varnish to set them so that they don't smear, and they're all set and good to go. I also be using my soft pastels because I want to do some real fun, kind of bright, bold mark making as well. I don't have a real focal point in mind yet. We'll see when we get there. Then I do have some additional, what did I do with it? I have some additional collage paper that I was thinking about throwing in there. I'm not sure because I want to make these really bright and fun. And so I know I will have neutral papers in the background. Just some of the stuff that's on my table that I need to use up. All this good stuff. I'll start with the neutrals. And then while this is drying, I'll do some gel printing. And we'll see what kind of patterns and marks come. And really, honestly, what I'm wanting is to just kind of explore and have fun with it. I do want to bring in some blacks and whites because contrast is always good. As far as colors go, they're all my favorites. If you've been around me long enough, you know what colors I'm going to go to. I've got a dark teal and a cobalt teal. I've got some prism violet. I've got some quin magenta. I've got, this is an alternative green gold because I'm out of my regular green gold. It's on the list of things to do. And I have cad orange out here. Oh, and you know what? I should throw in a little blue, some cerulean blue. Probably, because blue, yeah, maybe a tiny bit. Blue's just not my color, but every time I use it, I'm like, why don't I use that? So maybe I should stop saying blue's not my color. And so I got green, yeah, I think I got, and then of course black and white gesso, black and white gesso, fluid matte medium to put my papers down, my gel plate, a brayer for my gel plate, my stencils. I think that's it. That's really all I know right now. This is a celebration and we'll see where it's going to go. But it's going to be fun and it's going to be colorful and bold. And what that means, maybe the focal point is a big word, like celebrate. Ooh, that would be good. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so I think we're going to have some fun with this. And my inspiration came from me this week. I've been doing a lot of writing just because it's very therapeutic. But I wrote down, sometimes there just needs to be a celebration. Even if it's for the smallest of things. Who says we can't celebrate gratitude? Or a good meal? Or a sweet glance? Or laughter with your love? Your favorite song, the sunshine, temperature over 50 degrees, the sunlight coming through the window, a new paint supply, a funny joke, the answered prayer. Celebrate with gratitude, with joy and laughter, with exhales and deep breaths, with hugs and hoorays,
Sometimes we are afraid to celebrate. Sometimes I'm afraid to celebrate, like it'll jinx things, right? But just waking up, celebrate. Clothes to wear, celebrate. Food in my belly, celebrate. Just having the chance to live another day is a reason to celebrate. That's what I wrote. And I wrote that yesterday. And I needed to exhale a second and just be happy and celebrate right now. Celebrate all the things that I talked about. And sometimes it's difficult. We're so busy and we're so inundated with media and TV and everything. Sometimes I just need to shut all that out and celebrate what's right in front of me. And that's what I'm going to do today. I am celebrating. So this is a party, and I am going to make it happy and make this bold and bright and fun. And when we focus on the things that we can celebrate, that gratitude of what, even however small it is, it changes our outlook. We start to see more things that we can be grateful for. We see more things that we can celebrate. And it's a daily practice, and it's work. It takes work, but it also, we have to pause in all of the commotion of life for a second and be present in the footsteps and the conversations instead of thinking about, what's coming ahead. I'm speaking for me. Believe it, I'm speaking for me. Maybe you need a little bit of celebration today for something. There are things that we can celebrate. And that is what I'm doing today. I'm celebrating. I hope that you find something to celebrate this week, no matter how small. And be grateful. And then you'll see more and more and more. All right, my loves. I hope your Sunday is restful and peaceful. And I hope that you always, always know that you are loved.